Give me a second.
Thanks so much. Ryan should be in shortly.
Okay. I'm using my my shoes from my last All-Star game.
Bingo.
Damn, you got me here?
Yeah, how's that? I got a delay.
Do you stand by? Let me try and improve your setting and see if this helps. You get about 30 seconds. That's much better, Carlos. Thank you. Yep. And then let's just tilt your phone. Tilt the right side towards you if you can. I just want to center you up in your shot with those pictures back there. So show me more of the picture frame over your left shoulder. Yeah.
There? No. You know what? I gotta get something else. Cause give me a second.
Not a problem.
Coming from that one. Where's that one coming from?
Necesito algo porque quieren la cámara más arriba, al nivel de mis ojos.
Where's that coming from? Oh, it's coming from there. That's where that's coming from.
Te están escuchando, Mónica, ¿viste? Tráemelo, otra cosa, hija, por favor, una cosa de los...
Hey Ryan, how you doing? This is Kevin Riley.
What's up, Kev?
Hey man, question for you. Did you see that email from Kevin Dusold about rebooting your router?
Already did it.
You did that. All right, cool.
A little grainy, huh?
Still have some issues with your video quality. Your phone is using Wi-Fi right now, not cellular, correct?
Yeah. Do you want me to go on cellular? I just don't think it goes. I don't know why it's doing this, man.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just try that real fast. Just put it on cellular, and let's see if it improves the quality.
Hey, Suzanne.
I love that ceiling.
Send an email to
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
our show within their show.
Oh my God, I love it.
So just be cold. Hey, it's coming up. Those guys within their show. So you're on the email thing?
Yeah, that one will work. Yeah, please. Thanks for my daughter. Thank God for my daughter.
Carlos, that's perfect right there. Can you now just tilt your phone down a little? I just want to cut off a little less headroom. Or does your chair go up at all anymore by chance?
My chair?
If not, we can make it work.
La silla. Think so, yeah. Yep. How about that?
Perfect. Now just slide. Let's see where you are. All right, slide to your right a touch if you can. I just want to center you up in your shot, and then you should be all set.
To my
Yep.
right. Okay.
That way, right there. Yep. So if you're right there, perfect. And then if you see, I'll take you full like this, and then you'll also be in a double box here with Ryan. So less movement, the better, just for framing purposes. But thanks so much for your time, and just stand by for Ryan here.
Problem, man. Thank you. Pónmelo en una taza de los Caps, por lo menos para que. Can you let me see that, please? Doesn't work? Huh? So you buy that and no compraste nada de. Ah, okay. All right. All right. Oh, thank you.
Hey,
Well, hold
Ryan.
on here. Let's see. He's looking good here.
Yeah. Actually, are you on cellular right now, Ryan?
No, it won't work on cellular.
Okay, but you signed back on Wi-Fi. Or it did come back in a little better this time.
Yeah,
So,
but look, then it started going green again like that. See?
right, yeah, it starts degrading. Can you do me a favor? Sign off, reboot your phone, shut it all the way down, and bring it back
Yep.
and turn it back on. We want to clear
Z, my
the
bad,
RAM.
man. I'll be right back.
No
You look
problem,
great,
man.
Z. I'll be right back.
Take your time. All right, man. You too.
Okay.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Carlos, what's up? It's Malik. I'm the producer.
If this
Hey, sir, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Today,
So we're just working out some technical things, and then we'll get going.
Absolutely.
Once we get going, it's just you and Dim having a fun
Yeah.
conversation. So
Yeah,
hopefully,
I heard
we'll
some
be done with
echo.
it in like a half hour.
Pixelation.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Shouldn't be any feedback now.
It's
No
just we
problem.
get
Yep. Carlos, while I have you, can you give me a slow 10 count, please? I just want to check your lip sync, your audio, make sure everything's sounding good on our end.
Sure, yeah. What do you want me to do? Whatever?
Just you can count to 10, that'd be great.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, Carlos, we made one more adjustment, so another slow count to 10.
Yes.
Just to double check.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Perfect.
I sound delayed, man. Why is that?
Gotcha. Yeah, that won't happen during the show. It's we have a bunch of mics open right now, so during the actual show, you won't hear that delay at all.
Okay.
Z, how's Miami, man?
Good. Nice and rainy, actually. I love rain, man.
Yeah. Well, because when it's raining
When
there,
I
it's
used to
warm
play,
out.
I
It's
didn't,
like
I didn't,
being
I
in the
didn't like
shower.
rain, but yeah, yeah. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
You too. You look great, man.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm desperate to go, to Venezuela, somewhere else. Man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Dim, can you just tilt up a touch? I'm just seeing the bottom of your laptop on your phone. Right there, perfect.
Yeah.
And then can you slide it more? Let me see. Show me less of what's over your right side. So tilt your phone, like grab it on the pull it down. Yeah, you got it. I'm trying to work backwards here. If you do that and then slide a touch to your right, and we're all set.
You know, bro. The dents, bro.
Louis, man, where is he at? Miami? I mean,
Okay.
he's probably Miami.
Yeah, in Miami, sleeping on a bed full of cash. Hey, the
He doesn't
cheapest
trust
ever.
the bank.
Hey, cheaper than a Ramos.
Wow.
We play blackjack, on the plane.
Yeah.
We play blackjack, and Louis would be like, "Bam, man, winner! Bam, winner! Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah! You win one hand. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I gotta eat."
Wow. There's some people like
He could
that,
turn
man.
two though,
I
huh?
don't know.
Right here, he could turn two though.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He can
Yeah,
fly too,
fast.
man.
Oh man,
Yeah.
so fast.
Remember, I remember when he used to bunt of me. I didn't like, man. Like
Yeah.
perfect bunt by, not only that he can run, but he can bunt.
Yep.
Like the third baseman could be, inside, like in, way in, and he's still bunting.
And then when they would come too far in, he'd slap it on the ground and bounce it up over their head, especially in Florida.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you in Chicago?
Yeah. Raining here
So
too.
you're based in Chicago. You're based in Chicago since you
Yeah.
retired or whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
The
Nice.
Jenny is like, we're like a couple blocks from each other, so it works out good. The kids are in school here, and then we just got a place out west in Oregon, out in the mountains out there. So like a big second home to go to when the summertime comes and the wintertime for skiing and stuff. If you ever
That's
want to come
nice.
skiing,
That's nice.
take Big Z snow skiing.
Man, that's hard. The first time when I went to Spain with my wife, and I did that, and that's not easy.
No.
Hey, Dim.
Probably because
Hey,
I
by the
didn't
end of the
practice.
day,
Whatever.
you're late.
I'm sorry, Dim. Did you hear
Somebody
me?
talk.
What's up?
Hey, so we're ready to go whenever you're ready. Um,
Okay.
um, so we're starting. So again, this would be coming after Schwarber, and then just do a generic wrap because we don't know what we're going to do for that last segment yet.
Okay.
So cool. Like I said, Big Z, we're just gonna you and Demp just chatting back and forth. Just have some fun and probably go about 20, 25 minutes of just you guys reminiscing. So have some fun with it and good energy,
All right.
guys.
Thank you, man.
Yep. All right, Demp. I'll count you in.
Yeah.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. A big thank you to Kyle Schwarber for joining us here. Always great to catch up with him. Well, our next guest, he was a staple on the north side of Chicago in that rotation for 11 seasons. My former teammate, three-time All-Star, three-time Silver Slugger, Big Z, Carlos Zambrano, joining us here on Off the Mound. Z, how's it going down there in Miami, my friend?
Man, thanks for having me here in this program. Life is good, and we're here in Miami. Hanging out and raising the kids, doing some business, and everything is good. Thank God.
Nice. What are you up to these days? I mean, obviously everybody's staying home, but once this is all over and we can get back out to a little bit of a normal life or a new normal, what's on the plate for Carlos
You know,
Zambrano? What are you up to?
well, I have a program in Venezuela that I go and raise kids and you know teach them how to play baseball or how to um, do in baseball, and that's what I'm doing now since last year in October, and nothing else, man. Just going to church and my life is going good since I met Jesus Christ since 2011, and I live for the purpose of God now.
Yeah, that's great, man. I see the smile on your face. I always love, the smile that you would bring in every day, except for every fifth day, you'd come and pitch with a real serious look on your face. But, I, people always said, like Big Z,
Well,
man,
I, I was
he's
I was
like,
better I was better than prior. I mean, I'm not
yes.
scared of anybody, but prior, every time he was pitching, I mean, I say I don't mess with this guy. They say, this day.
Yeah, he was game face. It was on every fifth day.
Oh
The other
yeah.
4 days messing around, joking around, but on game day it was like straight face, and he was coming for you. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Playing with
yeah.
you for all those years, in Chicago, I really did see, all sides of you, and I saw like how much you loved playing baseball, and I know you loved pitching. You put up some unbelievable numbers, in Chicago, 125 and 81. I mean, that's some impressive stuff. A 3.6 ERA, 1,500 Ks in a Cub uniform. What did it mean to you looking back, especially? What did it mean to be a Chicago Cub for you?
Well, it was special, the fans, everything in the clubhouse, everything in the atmosphere of Wrigley Field. Um, I mean, playing for Chicago was one of the best thing that ever happened to me. Be part of some winning teams. Like you say, it was I had 128 win with the Cubs, and I played for a team that lost 90 games. That's rare for a pitcher to win, consistently 16, 18 games in a team that lost that many games. That's not usual. That's unusual. But I love the atmosphere. I love the going to the ballpark every day, and the clubhouse wasn't the greatest. Like now. Now you feel like you are in the big league clubhouse, but thank God that the new owners and Theo and all these people that are doing all these job in the clubhouse and the locker room and the dugouts. Now you feel more the atmosphere to play baseball.
Yeah, no, that old clubhouse was so tight. Like, I always felt like, if Ed Halber was changing right behind me and I changed at the same time, our hairy backs were going to match up against each other. And, that wasn't going to be a good look.
Especially him.
Ed always he'd take his
Yeah.
sweater off and he had another sweater on underneath.
That's right, man. But it was
Hey,
fun, it was fun, at the end of the day, like I always say, we had arguments, we had all type of thing in the clubhouse because adrenaline, because that we all want to win. But at the end of the day, we were brothers, we were teammates. We spent more time in the clubhouse with our families. Um, so at the end of the day, we can be mad at each other, but at the end of the day, we get together and when I used to drink a beer, I used to uh, in the bag. I used to, share a drink with you guys, and that was part of our daily or everyday get out of uh, the pressure. And then we go home and then we spend time with our family. Chicago is special, because you play day games and then you have the rest of the afternoon and night to hang out with the family and to hang out with the friends and do whatever you want.
Yeah, and I was saying too, like you put up incredible numbers as a pitcher, year in, year out there, especially like '04, '04, '05, '06, '07. It was like every year, 200 innings, at least 15 wins. You were dominating the league. But where you were the scariest, Z, was at the plate, dude. It was so much fun for somebody who could barely hit the ball at the infield to watch you, a fellow pitcher. I remember one time at the batting cage, you're like, damn, man, just stay back and just rotate and then use your hands. And I said, yeah, but I do that. It's a pop up to second. You do that. It's like on to Waveland or Sheffield. So it was, it was so much fun. I know talk about how much you enjoyed hitting. I know how much you loved it.
Well, since I was in the minor leagues, I take care. I was very dedicated to hitting the hitting part. I remember that in Double A, my pitching coach was throwing BP to me, and I didn't like bunt because I want to swing the bat, and he threw me so hard that I bunt the ball, but the ball came into my right in my nose, and I was bleeding. I went like this. Somebody, I say, no, no, I'm okay, I'm okay. I kept hitting, and I just put some tissue in my nose, and I kept hitting. But since I was in Double A, Triple A, they were like, no, no, Z, be careful, you're too young, and don't get hurt. But I knew that I was part of me and being a National League pitcher. I knew that I was, when I first came up, I knew that I had to go and help myself, self, um, and that's why I enjoy. I remember when in Houston, I was losing the game. I think I was losing the game 4-2, 4-3, something like that. Wade Miller was pitching, and Dusty came to me and say, "Hey, you're gonna hit." I say, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to hit." It was a 6, 7 inning, something like that. And Dusty say, "You gonna hit?" I say, "Yeah, I want to hit." So he let me hit, and I hit three runs bomb of Wade Miller, and we ended up winning the game
Curveball, right?
because
Curveball?
my home. Yeah, it was a curveball. Yes,
Yeah, I remember
that
that. I remember that clear as
the
day.
nasty hook. He had
Yeah, not
nasty
nasty
had
enough.
nasty curveball. Yeah, no, that
He
that one
did.
that one was a hanger one, but basically, his curveball was nasty, like Roy Oswald. I remember one time Oswald threw me a curveball that I swung the ball. I couldn't come back and swing it again, man. It was so slow. I mean, I think if I hit that ball, my shoe would be in the. I would be running without shoes.
Dude, I remember we would sit on the bench sometimes. Ted, Lily, and I would sit on the bench, and Lou would be looking for a pinch hitter, and like scratching his head. And me and Ted would be looking over at like Sinatra or Tram. We'd be like,
Well, hey,
"Hey,
where is
Zambrano's
the big
available.
guy?
Where's Big Z? Let's let him hit."
No,
I
no,
mean, it was pretty
I don't think
remarkable.
he knew
I
my.
remember you had a stretch. You had a stretch where you,
Yeah,
I think it was like 8 straight at bats. You had a base hit, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was. I think I went 3 for 3. Then the next game I went 3 for 3, and then 2 for 2. I think 8 at bat.
Wow. I had
Yeah.
8 hits in one season one time, so that's good.
Well, those
Oh,
are skills that uh, we uh, we develop practicing, and the best example for me is John Lester, man. When he came to the National League, he was an easy out. Now he fight the at bats, so because he practiced, I believe he practiced. He say, I'm a National League pitcher now, so I have to take care this part of my duties.
yep, 100%. I always felt that way too. If you could, make a pitcher throw, even if you got an out and you make him throw 5, 6, 7 pitches, you do that 3 times in a game. That's one less inning for that starting pitcher, and you're getting into the bullpen. So, yeah, I couldn't. He has worked really
Yeah,
hard at it, and it's
yeah.
showing. He's not an easy out anymore. Now he's going deep like Carlos
No,
Zambrano.
man, he impresses me. Yeah, yeah. Because when he came
Yeah.
to the National League, he was an easy out. Now, you know, even in the PlayStation, man, I'm playing in the season now, and Lester, it's a good hit in the PlayStation, man.
Yeah, he's. I told him about his pitching numbers in the PlayStation. He said, "I don't like that though." He's not too happy with his virtual numbers. He wants to get back out on the real field so he can play real ball.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody, is waiting to see baseball again this year, so
I know how much you love it
yeah.
because you love the game so much. I knew that being around you, and love the game of baseball. The point where you try to come back. I try to come back with Team Canada. It didn't work out too well. And you did the same
Yeah.
thing with the Chicago
I
Dogs,
saw
but
that. I saw
it was
that.
it was.
I saw Wellington Castillo going deep, man. Apple taco.
I
Yeah, I
made
was
the
watching that
mistake of
game.
throwing a
So
fastball away. What was I doing?
yeah.
No, I was
So
saying,
what he
like
was
you
saying?
you had the chance to come back. You had the chance, to come back and just give it another shot. You're playing here in Chicago in independent ball. The velocity was there. What was that like? Just that experience of playing baseball again after a couple of years off and going through all that.
Yeah. I, the year before I played in Mexico, man, and I felt that I have a concrete in my arm. In Mexico, I was throwing 86, 84, 86, and when I threw 86, I was like, maximum, max effort. But I work hard. I went to a friend. I mean, he wasn't a friend of mine, but a friend of mine had a friend that he was a strength and conditioner. Um, so he came to my house. I contacted him to work with me, and he started working with me after Mexican league season when I played Mexico in 2008 and 18. I played Mexico. So after that season, I worked with him every day. We went to the gym. He stretched my arm. I think it was a matter of stretching and uh, uh, get my arm strong again, and he did a good job. So the next year, I got this contract with the Chicago Dogs, and I was feeling much better. My velocity went up. It was a matter of a stretching. That Dempster. That we need
Hmm.
stretching and
Range of
we
motion,
need
a good range of motion, so you're
range
getting
of
out there.
motion. That's the word that I
Yep.
was looking. The range of motion. My range of motion wasn't straining again. It's not it wasn't there. So now last year I felt good and my range of motion was there. My personal trainer traveled to Chicago and he worked with me. Uh, but it was fun. I take more like I was a coach in that team and I teach all those young kids, you know, about anything that they want. I learned that from Alex. he was always available to answer. Sometimes, the answer that you was looking for wasn't that answer, but he answers.
Yeah. Do you look now, like, especially you talked about helping the kids in Venezuela and working with them with baseball, how much you're enjoying being a coach and helping these kids and watching them grow and develop and in their baseball lives?
Yeah, man. I mean, I always enjoyed that since all the players that when I was in my prime in Chicago, all the pitchers that came to the team, always try to give an advice um, of the game, um, and now I think that's a way that I can um, give back what I receive from God, uh, skills and the knowledge of pitching. Just like you, I believe I'm sure that when you see a young pitcher in Chicago like Albert Alzolay and all the pitchers, you can give an advice, because and you have the, the knowledge of baseball of pitching, and I think we all like that. When you retire, you like to teach what you had, and now baseball has changed with all the electronic and
Analytics and
scientific, yeah, all those things. Last year, that we had, I never saw that. We had a Rap Zoto, the machine that
yeah,
measure your movement and your braking, your brake. We didn't have that.
spin rate,
Now,
everything. No.
spin rate. I mean, I was pitching. I was in the bullpen, and I saw that thing, in the middle of me and the catcher, and I say, man, I don't think Greg Maddux would like to pitch with that in front of him. He doesn't like any distraction. So he was all about his game, and he only had to do with the catcher, not with the machine in front of him. So I was like that too, but I have to pitch with that, and I have to deal with that because baseball now is all about um, statistics.
Yeah, I'm always interested to see what would have happened if there's analytics and the Rhapsody machine and all that would have been around when Lou was managing, you know?
He would kick that. Get that thing out of
Like
here.
you come in the dugout and be like, "Hey Lou, my spin rate said, 2300 RPMs." He'd be like, "Yeah, well son, that's great, but the ball's on wavelength. What does it matter?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Who was the guy? I don't want to say that. I mean, I pass him that, but somebody came to him and then say, "Hey, Lou, I can run. I can jump a car." Somebody say that to him, and I can jump a car. From side to side. He say, "Oh yeah, you better get to first base because you will ended up in triple A." Something like that, man. I mean, it was hilarious.
Yeah, he
But
was so
Lou was
entertaining.
funny, man. Yeah, yeah, he was funny,
Yeah.
man. He was great, and thank God we didn't have the Lou that everybody was talking about when he came to Chicago and he said, "Oh, Lou is a hard man," and he. But when he came to Chicago, he was totally different than the people were saying that he was in Seattle or whatever, Cincinnati or whatever.
Yeah. Isn't that the truth though? Like, for you, I know people have this um, you know, imagination in their head or this theory or this idea of who Carlos Zambrano is because you have a big personality, especially when you're out pitching and Mark Carlson's throwing you out of the game and you're chucking the ball and throwing him out of the game and and the Gatorade machine that you destroyed, which by the way you got that idea from me because I was the first one to do that. When they put that Gatorade machine in
Yeah,
our dugout, I'm like, this is a bad idea, guys. Between me and Z, one of us two is going to destroy this thing.
yeah.
But when Lou
I'm a
came,
good
he
learner.
was so,
I learn good,
yeah.
so I learned that from you. Yeah,
You're welcome. Yeah,
yeah,
hopefully I helped a little bit on the mound as well. But no, I felt the same way like you're
yeah,
saying about Lou. When he came there, he was very about us being a unit and together. And because of that, I mean, we had back-to-back division champions. We had some really good teams that came
yeah,
together. We
yeah.
just didn't
He
get
was
it
a
done.
professional. He
Yeah,
was a professional. He was a professional. He was on his business, and whenever he wants to tell you something, he would call you to his office and say, Um, but for me, he was, I mean, one of the best managers that I had in Chicago.
yeah, he was great. Him and Dusty too. We were lucky to play for some
Oh
really
yeah,
great managers
Dusty.
there. Yeah, I always loved Dusty
Dusty
so much
was
because I felt
was
like he cared about you as the human before you as the baseball player, and that to me was so important because it's
yeah,
baseball, baseball,
yeah, exactly.
baseball, and he cared about you and your family number one.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He was everywhere, like Droopy. He was, I mean, he was all over. I mean, he trying to take care of you off the field and on the field. That's why he always tell the player, this is a good restaurant in this place, and new players, and he was, I mean, he trying to cover everything around the players. And that is not easy to do in the big leagues, because you have
No,
25 guys, and you have 25 different likes. I like arepas. I mean, you like gravies or whatever, uh, things like that. He was so special, and small things uh, for the players, to take care of the players, and that was good.
hey, I like arepas too. Bien Masabe on the north side of Chicago. Hey,
Yeah,
that place,
nice,
outstanding.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, you know, I've asked some of these guys that used to play for the Cubs before they won. When the Cubs won the World Series in 2016, did it a little bit of you feel the joy because of being there so long that a little piece of that was for you as well?
Of course, man. Of course, I was happy. I was jumping in my house in Venezuela. By that time, I was in Venezuela. I wanted to go to Chicago. I think I received a call from somebody, but I couldn't go because I was in Venezuela. It was hard to jump in the plane by that time to go to Cleveland or whatever. The guy that signed me, Julio Figueroa, they invite him to go to be in the celebration or whatever. But I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. Like I was there, and I have friends in Chicago that he was FaceTime me, and to see the because the team was in Cleveland, but a lot of people were in around Wrigley Field,
Wrigleyville?
and he was one of them. Yeah, Wrigleyville, and he was one of those people that he was FaceTiming me, and that was awesome. I felt that I was there with those people. I think anybody that played for the Cubs or this special team felt that finally the Cubs came through uh, and won their first World Series trophy since 1908, and I celebrate that. I mean, to be honest with you, I was celebrating with my friends and my family, and I was watching the game with my family in Venezuela, my friends, and um, that was special. I felt like I was part of that celebration and that team. That because I was pushing them, in my spirit, and I was even praying for the pitchers, for the fan, for all the players. So that was great.
Well, good, man. I know that all those thoughts, all those prayers from everybody, including us ex-players, definitely Those guys could feel that, and they won because of that. And
Yeah.
I enjoyed you as a teammate, but I love you as a person, Carlos. You're a great man, and I'm glad to see that life is good for you, and that you're doing well, and that your
Likewise,
family's
man.
well and safe. And thanks so much for joining us here on Off the Mound. I really appreciate you coming on and talking some baseball and sharing a little bit of the past with us. It's really great.
Likewise, man. I love you too, and I enjoy this. Every moment that we live in that clubhouse, in that tiny clubhouse, like you say, and every moment that we enjoy you, Lily, Ted Lily, people that were special for me, Soriano, Ramis, and um, you know, we enjoy those times, and now everybody got to do in their life whatever they have to do. But the most important thing is that the know that God is in our heart, and that we have a purpose from God, and we have a mission to do in this earth. Uh, that God want us to accomplish that mission. And since I know that, I've been working on my relationship with the Lord, and I've been working. I'm not perfect, but people say a lot of things that doesn't have to do with what I am, but that doesn't bother me because I have personality. I have um, identity in Christ. People don't, I'm not the kind of person that people will come and say you are a dog and I will bark. I'm not that kind of person. I think I have my mind where I set up where I want to go, what I want to do in God, and I love the Lord. I'm behaving as a strong Christian, um, and I don't care what the people say, but the good people that say is the seed, um, and they appreciate what you, Ted, Sammy Sosa, all these players that play for the Cubs, the new players, Javi Baez, Anthony Rizzo, Chris Bryant are doing for the Cubs. They every day they come to the clubhouse and trying to win a ball game. So that's what all we all did, and that's what they doing. So thanks for the invitation, Dempster. I appreciate everything. The I appreciate this interview.
You bet, man. You did, and you brought that every day too, and your numbers speak for themselves, and who you are sitting there today as a man says a ton about you too. So, so great catching up with you, everybody. Thanks to Carlos Zambrano for joining us here on Off the Mound. We're going to be right back after this short break. Join us here with Off the Mound with Ryan Dempster.
All right, clear, guys. Good job. Good stuff.
Thanks,
Awesome,
man.
Z.
Thank you.
It's great to see
Yeah,
you, man.
man.
Tell your wife I said hello, man.
You too, man. I will.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. She's in the other house because I have a guest house here, but my father-in-law has a surgery.